Hi, everyone. Miss Bevan, the occupational therapist here. Today, we're going to talk about the Handwriting Without Tears program. If you're a teacher, this is a program you might be doing with your students in class. And if you're a parent, this might be a program that I've asked you to do some practice workbook pages at home with your student. If I've asked you to watch this video, your child or student probably has a workbook already. The workbook stays at school. If you're a parent at home working on this, I'll probably send home copies of the workbook page that I've asked them to do a little extra work on for you to do at home. So this video, there'll be two parts to this video. In this video, we'll talk about why Handwriting Without Tears is such a great program and the components of it that you'll need to get started. And in the next video, I'll actually walk you through how to complete each worksheet. What's so special about Handwriting Without Tears is that it's a multi-sensory program. So it has different elements, different ways of practicing the letter that are going to help your student or child remember how to form the letter. And that's the most important part of this program, is learning how to make each letter. The multi-sensory components include wooden pieces or manipulatives, a chalkboard, and then the actual worksheet itself. So let me show you each component. For the manipulatives, every capital letter can be made with 4 different pieces. And if you're in school, you're going to use these wooden pieces, most likely. So here are the big lines, and they're just 4 big wooden lines. You'll also need at least 3 little lines. And the little lines are about half the size of the big line. You'll need at least 2 big curves, and the big curves are the same size as the big lines, same length. And then finally, you'll need 2 little curves, and the little curves are the same size as the little lines and half the size of the big lines. If you're doing this program at home, I've likely made you some manipulatives that are the same size and shape. And I usually send home some extras. I'll make them out of cardstock or a lightweight cardboard, kind of the same thickness as a cereal box. Those pieces will get you through the first part of the program. The next part is going to be your chalkboard. You can buy a chalkboard on the official Handwriting Without Tears website. You can also get them at the dollar store, on Amazon, Walmart, Target. Usually in their craft section, they'll have small chalkboards. The trick is you want one that's a rectangle. You can see it shows you exactly the rectangle kind of shape on the worksheet page, and that's because all of our capital letters are going to fit in there. Along with the chalkboard, you're going to want some chalk. You're going to want a small sponge. You can cut these out of clean kitchen sponges. Just make little cubes out of them. And then finally, you're going to want to, when you're actually doing the program, you're going to want to get your child or your student a little bit of water. The sponge, you wet the sponge to erase the letter, which I'll show you in the second part of this video. But you just want a little bit, because otherwise it gets a little messy. You don't want the sponge ever to be soaking wet. And you'll see a little bit more why in the next video. The last thing I'll point out is that if you buy a chalkboard from Amazon or like a craft store or something like that, in the top left corner, this might be reversed on the video, but it is the top left corner. You're going to want to put some sort of mark because so many of our letters start in that area. And so you can always use a sticker. For some students, I might actually specifically ask you to also indicate the middle part of the board. And so actually stickers are a really good idea to have anyway, because you can always mark the middle part of each side with a sticker that way. And then the last thing you'll need, you can see on the worksheet, there's a writing component and then a picture at the bottom, and that's for coloring. And so the last thing you'll want is a pencil and some crayons. And that's all the pieces that we need to get set up. So if you're going to do this program with your child, this is what you want to have on hand before you actually sit down with them and get started. I'm going to stop this video, and part 2 on how to do the actual workbook page will be in the next video. See you soon.